Every 3 to 4 months, I go through a period of review. We're in the beginning of March 2025. The last time that I went through a period of review was at the end of November, start of December time, just as I was coming to the end of my volunteering at Newport City Radio. Absolutely loved my time there. But again, after 3 4 months of volunteering my time, sharing my skills, sharing my knowledge, and basically participating in something so good and so wholesome, I needed to take a moment to kind of review myself, my long term career. Was I going in a direction that benefited me the most? I was certainly benefiting from volunteering for Newport City Radio and helping them out and helping with social media content. But was it the most benefit I was getting for myself? And so every 3 to 4 months, I like to kind of take a step away from a lot of the things that I'm involved in, whether it's projects with other people, whether it's projects for myself. The Middle Finger podcast is still going, and the Middle Finger podcast has been subject to these kind of seasonal reviews. But no, I'm happy with it. I'm very content with the Middle Finger podcast. I'm very content with what I'm doing and what I'm doing for local people. I think the biggest drawback for the Middle Finger podcast isn't really something in my hands. Yes, there is so much work that goes into it. I have to contact the guests, I have to book them in, I have to do the research on the guests, I have to set up the equipment, I have to record every episode whilst conducting an interview, whilst not making any mistakes. I have to take the equipment apart. I have to transfer the equipment all into one place on my computer. I have to edit the audio. I have to edit the video. I have to edit the thumbnails. I have to publish them on YouTube and Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And then I have to make sure that all of those things are in place, ready to be promoted. So that is everything that goes into one episode of the MF podcast. So I'm very, very happy with the podcast itself and everything that goes on. I think the only thing that kind of really holds it back is the podcast is based on Newport's celebrity industry, which is it's quite it's quite a difficult thing to visualize, because when we say celebrity, when anyone says celebrity or celebrated person, where the term celebrity comes from, anytime we think of a celebrated person, usually the common person will think of the highest, most upper echelons of celebrated fame. So film stars and the biggest chart topping musicians and the most global, most influential names possible. If you say celebrity to someone, that is generally what any everyday person kind of anticipates. So so for somewhere as small as Newport City to try and identify its celebrated people and try to foster its celebrated industry, its celebrity community, very difficult, because again, we do have a few global names. The lead singer of Skindred, obviously Benji Webb, he's probably the biggest name that tops that list. Again, we've got a gentleman. He's actually a voice actor. He featured on Torchwood back when Torchwood was airing, and now he does voice acting for video games. And he actually lives in Newport. I can't remember his name. I want to say Owen Reese. That could be wrong. But yeah, so he is again another global celebrity, not possibly as well known as Benji Webb from Skindred, but those are two really, really big names. Obviously, we have the owner of the Celtic Manor. He's an 80-year-old billionaire, Terence Roberts. Again, this is what I mean. Newport's celebrity industry is such a difficult thing to try and support, because we just don't have that kind of legacy celebrity industry here in the first place. You go to places like London. You expect famous people to be in London. You know, it's where they've got a lot of television studios. It's where they've got a lot of headquarters for some of the biggest brands in the world. You know, there's a lot of TV, there's a lot of film that happens in London. There's a lot of music that happens in London. You know, so you expect to see a lot of these really really big famous names in somewhere such as that. Same as Hollywood. You know, same as Los Angeles. Same as in you know, near enough any, I was gonna say capital, near enough any big industry city, you expect to see big celebrity names. So in somewhere as small as Newport, it's very difficult to have that kind of celebrity culture. Purely because we just don't have the industry here. You know, we do have a music industry of sorts, but there's various things that have impacted that over the past 15 years that's kind of negatively impacted that. There's also things like cost of living. There's also things such as just parts of industries globally shifting and changing. And it means that where they would have had offices in Cardiff, potentially offices in Newport, that's changed. You know, the internet and social media has made a lot of changes to celebrity culture, celebrity industry. So it is very difficult to kind of, you know, nurture that, find that in Newport. But saying that, it's not strictly celebrities that I'm trying to do interviews with. It's champions of the community. It's people in the area who, yes, are recognized for the things that they do, but also deserve to be recognized for the things that they do. So it's quite difficult. That is kind of the only thing that I see holding back the Middle Finger podcast at the moment, beyond my own input. But yeah, that's that. Back to what I was saying about these periods of review. So every 3-4 months, I'll take a step back and I will kind of review: am I doing the best for myself? Am I doing what I need to do to be in the place that I would need to be as fast as possible? You know, because time is linear. Time moves in one direction. We have chances throughout our life, and it's, I don't think it's fair to say that we have the most chances when we are at our youngest. I don't want to say that, you know, that period of like 18 into your early 20s, I don't want to say that that is when you have your most chances. It is that kind of, there is certainly in the music industry, there is that kind of barrier up until the age of 25 of, is this person worth investing in as an artist? You know, so if you haven't got your career sorted between the ages of 18 and 25, generally in the music industry, you're considered not being worthwhile of being signed and being nurtured and kind of being fostered through into being a superstar. But that's, I do not have the authority in the music industry to change anything about that. I don't think that's something that needs to be commented on, because those are not circles that I move in. But saying that, certainly after the age of 25, I would not say that the door is shut for anyone. Certainly not in the music industry, certainly not in the media industry. I mean, Samuel L. Jackson didn't start appearing in movies until he was in his 40s. You know, certainly appearing in front of the camera, I don't think it's ever too late. But definitely, I can see that as time goes on, as life goes on, you know, depending on what kind of industry you're in, depending on what kind of circles you move in, and I think the circles that you move in is probably the biggest part. Depending on where you are in life, the older you get, generally, it seems like there's less opportunities to kind of make something of yourself. I think that period between 30s and 50s, apparently, that is where a lot of serious business people kind of, that is where they find themselves, and that is where they end up making their millions, so to speak. You know, I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur ever since I was 18. I've always wanted to be involved in business. I've always wanted to own multiple businesses and benefit from the kind of assets and resources that these businesses are able to be involved in. Because yeah, you know, you don't need all the money in the world to have a really good life. You can have a really good life as long as you are smart about the resources that you use, smart about the resources that you have, and are prepared for those moments where change comes about. In my opinion, change comes about every 3 or 4 months. I've mentioned the word seasonal. So we are all aware that inevitably winter is going to become spring, spring is going to become summer, summer is going to become autumn, autumn is going to become winter, and winter once again will become spring. We are all aware of how seasons fluctuate and seasons change. Certainly in the northern hemisphere, certainly in the United Kingdom, where we have such a moderate climate, we all love the sun. But it's the fact that our climate is so wet that allows us to kind of do so well with agriculture, and allows us to have such a lush green ecosystem to live in. So yeah, so we are aware that seasons change. We are aware that businesses work quarterly. Businesses release quarterly reports. Some businesses do. Some of the biggest businesses do. And that is purely because they have so much revenue being generated. There is so much life and moving parts in their organizations that they need to release frequent reports, both for people inside of the company and investors outside of the company, to stay in touch with what are the latest trends. So yeah, 3 4 months for me. I like to take a step back, to kind of review for a little bit, take a breather, analyze what I'm doing. So having said that, yeah, this is why today I've recorded 2 YouTube videos back to back. This is why over the next couple of days I'm going to be getting ready for my next podcast interview, episode 13, featuring the winner of Ms. Great Britain and Ms. Cardiff, Emma. She's from Cardiff. She's great. She's using her newfound success with winning this competition to talk about her neurodivergent son and raise awareness for these members of our communities. And again, this is what the podcast is all about. It's all about giving giving local champions that chance to kind of share their side of the story, talk about their lives, and pass on the messages that they want to pass on. So yeah, episode 12 is done. There has been a slight little hiccup in that my guest name dropped a few people, so I need to now go back, go through those edits and add in bleeps where he needs those, just purely out of protection. It doesn't spoil the episode at all. He's got individuals that he needs to protect professionally. Professionally, as someone who is creating content to make him look good, I will do him the courtesy of making sure that his standards are adhered to. So that's just why there's a little bit of delay on that. Yes, the Middle Finger Podcast, YouTube content. I need to get back on my YouTube content big time. I'm currently sitting around 225 subscribers, which, yeah, it's nice, but it's not enough to get monetized. So I need I need to keep going. There has been a little bit of kind of, in the past 4 months, there has been a little bit of delay from me. Yes, I am in a relationship. We did have a little wobble for 2 weeks, but we're back on it. So yeah, so I'm I'm finding where this new relationship fits into my personal life. Where it fits in with all the things I'm involved in. She loves the stuff that I do. She's featured on a few videos already. We're trying out different kinds of videos now that I have someone to kind of like forced to be with me in videos. We're trying a few things out. We've released a one video of us playing video games together. So this is split screen, so the video game footage is up top and we are at the bottom. Yeah, there's that. She wants to do mukbangs. She's big into her mukbang videos. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. But I can't let myself get distracted from the things that I need to do for the path that I want, the career that I want, the life that I want. I even have subscribers. I have Patreon subscribers who pay me to produce content. So I need to produce content regularly to give back to those Patreon subscribers. Massive thank you. Certainly to Anthony, mate. You've absolutely been fantastic this entire time. I was looking over my analytics recently. You've been there from day one. So yeah, thank you, mate. I really appreciate that. But yeah, as the media grows, as I establish things, as I begin qualifying for monetization, both on YouTube, both on other platforms, that should help give me resources to kind of improve everything generally, and kind of just make everything better for everyone else. I'm a media personality. I am a personality. People enjoy watching me. They enjoy listening to me. You know, not always when I've got a bit of a cold, but they enjoy listening to the things. They enjoy listening to the things that I have to say. They enjoy listening to my interviews. They enjoy the pieces of information that I'm able to share about the music industry, or about the media industry, or about creative careers or entertainment careers. They appreciate my little inputs on just life in general and content. So for the past 4 months, I have been struggling a little bit with that, because just, yeah, as with everything, as with anything, if you're, I think Eminem said it best: if you're not making enemies, you're not doing something right. So I do happen to have a few opponents who like to try and oppose anything that I do. They have got sticks well up their backsides, and it must be so painful for them to go day by day with such honking sticks right up, where the sun doesn't shine. That must be painful. And I didn't put those sticks there. I didn't put those sticks there. So those people who have got sticks, you know, in their backsides, over anything I do, you put those there. I didn't do that. You did that. Okay. So the only person that can take those sticks out is you. I'm not gonna stop doing what I'm doing. I'm not gonna stop creating wholesome, nice content for people to engage with. I'm not going to stop representing my area. I'm not going to stop trying to do good things for good people. Okay. So, either keep the sticks there and get used to the pain, or take them out yourself and move on, because you're not going to stop me. And so, yeah, this is what I've kind of had to review lately. Yeah, so yeah, thank you for everyone who supports me. Thank you to, so many people, so many friends, so many allies. Yeah, the boys, everyone. You're great. And for anyone who's still kind of like, why does this guy matter? Who is he? Why is he relevant? I don't know. I'll share some facts about me. I'll create a few videos sharing some facts about me. So yeah, just so you can get to know me more. I'm a personality. That's it. I am a media personality based in Newport, Wales, who's happy to travel the world and make friends around the world and just contribute positively to the human species. Peace.